You can do that by simply tapping on your screen, going up to the corner in the left and the corner, clicking on the 3 little dots, and follow me here on Festive Creations. And apparently I have not yet got a notification, so let me find our video. And that way I can't see your comments until I pull you up here. And I know you're here. So I'm super excited about today because today it's not a really complex design. If you caught me yesterday, we made this on Facebook. So our Santa boots and this over-the-top design we did on day number 4. On day number 1, we did this gorgeous gold and navy blue wreath. Day number 2, I think was the sled. We decorated the sled. And day number 4, I forget. Look, it's 7 days of holiday cheer. All right, so let's get started. So these Angel Vine candy canes, I actually sell in my shop at festivecreationsbystephanie.com. And I've already done some prep work. So what I have done is, hey, Deborah, hey, Charlotte, hello, everyone. Coming on in, Jacksonville, Florida. Thank you, Peggy. Sarah, I'm super happy. New York's in the house. Good morning, Sylvia and Wanda. Hey, I finally have comments. Yay. So what I did was some prep work yesterday, and I'm going to show you what I did on a brand new one, but this one had to set up overnight. So what I did is I added some spray foam insulation, if you can see the elevation right here, and it expands. But I'm going to zoom in on my table, and I'm going to show you exactly what I did using a new one. So this requires my favorite tool, which is the Gaps and Cracks. So it's actually intended to be spray foam insulation. It's used on our homes, right? This one, you want to make sure that you're using the Gaps and Cracks that expands up to 1 inch. 1 inch is critical. If you get the other one, it expands up to 2 to 3 inches. You're going to have a huge mound when you're done, and we don't want that. So after I prep my can, shake it, and attach the spout, what I did is I just simply went right over the vine itself and put a very thin layer of foam, literally that thin. So it doesn't look like much on there right now. However, it will expand and grow, but you do want to allow that to expand overnight and let it set for at least 24 hours. So I did that yesterday. Once you open a can of the Gaps and Cracks, y'all, it's always best to go ahead and use it. So if you have any other containers or any other designs you want to work on, go ahead and use it. I'm going to wrap it up in some plastic right now. And I'm actually going to be using it in some other designs. So we'll let this one set and grow. I'm getting ready to do a vendor show Black Friday weekend. These will be a huge hit. So I will have plenty of options for people. But once you've created it, this one is so fun, and it's an easy, quick project after you've let this set up. I use 1.5 inch ribbon when I create my candy cane. So I pulled out a few options, but I just want to show you as they run away from home here. Good morning, Tina. Hello. Hey, Donna. So if you choose your ribbon, you can easily change the color scheme. This one has red, white, and green in it. This one has a red and white with a snowdrift mesh. This one is just a plain silver. So depending on what look you want to go with, you could add a buffalo plaid to this. You could introduce some black. Your ribbon becomes your canvas for your focal point. And it all ties into the holiday theme, right? I also pulled out just some leftover pieces of winter greenery. So we used this yesterday. day before yesterday in a design. Oh, the snowman centerpiece. So we used some of this. It looks like it has ice on it. And we used a few cuts off of it, so we still have a few more. I have some leftover pieces of the cedar berry bush. I have some leftover pieces from this pine bush. And then I also have just some plain no frost, no glitter pine. So you can, depending again on what look you want to go with, you can go with the no frost look. You can do a combination of both. It's truly up to you, and it doesn't take a lot. It doesn't take a lot. Good morning, Miss Jennifer. So even though these are super long stems, we're going to cut them in half and make 2 cuts out of them. So we don't need super long, so I'm going to cut that off. And let's zoom in here a little bit. And right above one of the joints, about halfway up, I'm going to cut that. And now I have 2 pieces. 2 pieces. So we can do that with a couple of these. I actually want to go ahead and do another one. And find a joint. And now we've got 2 more pieces. So just like that, because this doesn't need super long pieces. I do have my glue pot over here off camera warming up. My Santa boots are covering them up today. They're disguised behind Santa. I definitely want to use some of these. And this has also got the option to cut it into half. So I don't want super long ones. So I'm going to find a joint in here and cut that about in half. All of the winter greenery is also in my shop at festivecreationsbystephanie.com. If you wanted to know where you can find all this lovely stuff that I'm using today. The only thing is the ribbon I'm using. I may not be using one that's currently in stock, but of course we have hundreds of ribbon options in stock ready to ship. Okay, so there's some smaller pieces. I only needed the smaller pieces. Do you know I saw a pair of those boots at Marketplace yesterday? Vicky, did you grab them? Did you grab them? Girl, I certainly hope you grabbed them. I really liked the look of the red and green ribbon with this. Let me show you. Look how fun that is. Next to our red and white striped peppermint. I really liked that one as a favorite. But then I also really liked the snow drift on the edge of this one. I'm kind of tossed. Which one do you think? Now, I can do the other one in a different color. We've got another one setting up over there that'll dry overnight. But which one? Do you guys like the red and green or the red and white drift? And we're only going to use 1 ribbon in this design. Only use 1 ribbon. I'll let you guys let me know. And I'm just going to need a little bit of this, a little bit of that. The green, Charlotte says. Amy said red and green. Peggy likes the drift. Sarah likes the drift. The boots would look cool with snowman hat you did last year. Beth, was that last year or the year before? I know which one you're talking about, where I made, Jenny said red and white. I love them both, but like the red and green with the candy cane. Snowdrift. Donna, y'all are not making this easy now. Okay, I'm down to this, but I'm going to take off these little bitty pieces because I want those. Red and green. You guys are like half and half. Jill might have to help me decide which one y'all are deciding on while I start adding some greenery. Y'all, Jill, you're going to have to be the judge. What's the majority? Are you even in there? Look, she's not even listening to me. Okay. She better.
I just answered you.
Huh?
Drift. I think it's it's drift.
You think drift is the winner?
Yeah.
All right, so because I added the foam, I can now have a surface to go in and very easily add some greenery. And that's exactly what we're gonna do, is I'm gonna take some of these longer pieces from our first bush, and again, it is a partial bush. So like when I go to make a design and I only use a partial bush, I only charge the customer for half or a third or whatever it is I used off that bush. Then this customer might get charged a little more, or not a little more, but the other part of it. So when you go to price your items, keep in mind, if you're only using pieces of it to charge fairly, you would only want to charge a percentage of that item that you use, just like a roll of ribbon. If you didn't use a whole roll of ribbon on a design, you would only charge them for the amount that you use, whether it be inches, yards, etc. All right, let's take some of this, and I hope I don't need, you use the red and green in a yarn candy cane. And I've seen all the gorgeous yarn candy canes. It is not in my wheelhouse. I'm telling you, y'all got patience. Y'all got patience. I like this candy cane because it already comes pre-built with vine. And this is as elaborate as I need to get with it. I'm adding some of that snow, that icicle looking snowy stuff to it. And of course it's hard to see when it's laying flat, so I'll try and raise it up here in a minute. And then don't forget that we're going to be adding a bow to this. So I'm not worried about the open place in the center right now, because we're going to be adding a bow. All right, Jill said she feels like you all voted on the red and white drift. So let's bring it out. And I'm saving these smaller pieces for a little bit later. So let's make a bow. And for this, I don't need anything super elaborate. But for this one, I'm only going to go about a 10-inch strip, and I'm going to use a couple of those. I'm going to dovetail the ends. Ooh, I don't like this. I can't see how many people are on the live today. That stinks. Let me dovetail that. And if you think about it, especially with this kind of neutral plain, you could go farmhouse, you could go buffalo plaid, you could do just about any color combination you wanted to, using the grapevine as your canvas. All right, so now I'm just going to add a couple of loops. Let me scoot that a little forward. Not super large. That off. I'm going to add another set of tails. Find my center point. Put that right in there. And we're going to add one more loop. You know what? I think what I'm going to do is just do a loop. Let me think how I want to do that. Now I'll just do it the normal way. Put a loop in there. And just a single loop will be in the center. Now, of course, using good quality ribbon is always going to work best, because we want the loops to be able to hold their shape really well. Have you guys ever been somewhere, and I'm not going to, of course, be disrespectful to anyone else or any other vendor, but, you know, not vendor, but I've been into the big box stores and bought ribbon, and the wire in it isn't really that durable, and it might be 9 feet instead of 10 yards, you know, or and you're thinking, oh, I always get my ribbon from Festive Creations, and that'll be plenty. One roll will be plenty, and then you get home and you're like, there's only 3 yards on here. That has hit me more times than I can even think before I learned my lesson, that I had to read the fine print when I was buying from the big box stores. Y'all, careful when you're buying your ribbon. No matter where you get it, read the details, right? Good morning, Miss Charlotte. This do not sale for my Doris. I'm not sure what you're saying. What is it that you're trying to say? Okay, so I used my 22 gauge floral wire to secure my bow, but I'm also going to use that same wire to go right down through the foam on this candy cane. So the wire is pretty stiff. Buyers beware retarded. Wanda, it sounds like me. Sounds like maybe you have also experienced the same pitfall that I did. I was not being a good shopper. In fact, back when I was beginning to make things, I didn't even know. You know, I just assumed that they were all the same, right? All right, glasses on. And I'm going to have to feel my way. I may actually have to puncture through this vine here, so let me do that. Where is... Ooh, my little puncture tool might be out in the garage. I will compromise. I'll use this. And I'm going to drive a hole all the way through to the back so that my wire can feed through there. And I'll do a second hole so my wire can come all the way through. And now I won't be struggling. Y'all, this is such a quick and easy project. And if you do, how many of you guys do vendor shows or craft shows? Do you offer things that at different price points? I know those of you that follow me have heard me say it many, many times. You know, when I set up a vendor show, I have different price points because I have found that many people want to support your business, but it may not always be in their budget, right? So to have different items at different price points, this would be an example. This isn't going to be a $100 item in my store. And Stephanie apparently cannot get the line in there straight. I know I'm there. It's right there. You can do it, Steph. I believe in you. I didn't get all the way through that apparently. There we go. It just needed a little nudge. Yay! All right, before I do anything else, I'm going to turn this around. And now I can secure that down. Gina agrees. Always different price points. Absolutely. Hey, Jeannie. Hello. Good morning. Y'all, we are on day number 5 of 7 days of holiday cheer. Tomorrow's live, I will be back. I am doing a window pane. I'll actually be live on Carrie Hot Mesh Mom's page and my page live tomorrow on Facebook. And we will be doing a window pane that came from Carrie's shop. I absolutely fell in love with it when I visited her shop in Las Vegas this summer. And I got one. So we have 2 more days left of 7 days of holiday cheer. Today and tomorrow. So tune in 10 a.m. Central Time. You will find me here. All right, so I cut off my wires. I put a little bit of glue on top of that. And I'm going to let that set up. Oh, thank you, Charlotte. Good morning, Yolanda. How are you? And Sarah said, yes, I do vendor shows and offer a lot of different price points. Last year, y'all, we had the pop-up shop. It was just a temporary shop. That was by design. I did not want to have a retail store 365 days a year, 365 days a year. But last year we made toilet paper rolls with our sublimation. There's a lower price point, but it's fun. In fact, I was thinking the other day we need to do that for our upcoming vendor show on Black Friday because people will love it. All right, so these smaller pieces that I have cut off, I'm going to actually integrate down in between the bow and in our styrofoam. So let's add a little glue. I've got it laying on that plastic because I know that glue underneath still needs time to set up. So we're going to add some of these smaller pieces and almost right in between the bow itself. So it looks, or the ribbon itself, so it looks like it's all kind of one entity. Also, not that I need it, but if you have ribbon that doesn't have a lot of oomph to it, a body to it, adding some of the greenery underneath it kind of help lifts it up and holds it in position. I love it. I love it. Y'all, when I get done here, I'm going to be recording some bow tutorials. I'm super excited. Who doesn't love a good video on how to make bows? Maybe not quite that big. Let's go with one a little bit smaller. We can do that. We can do that right in there. Of course, not too heavy on the glue. We don't need it saturated with glue. And this one will go right under here beautifully. Look, all of the greenery is leftover pieces. Just leftover from previous products or projects like our Santa Claus boots or the centerpiece that we did. The snowman centerpiece. And that's why. So I'm going to look on the side. Remember, if you watched me yesterday or any day, I like to look at my designs from every angle and make sure that I don't have any gaps or openings. And I do see a couple on the side, so I'm going to add a little more. Let's take this one. And we only need some of these small branches off of here. And fill in any area where there might be foam showing. Are you guys watching this one over here? Look how much he's growing already. He's almost there. Ooh, that one doesn't want to go in. It will. All right, that definitely filled her up. Filled her up. Let's look at this. So I love to hang on the wall and take a step back and say, what do I need? What don't I need? Where do I need to make adjustments, right? How stinking fun and easy. Oh, Tina. I have some wire canes I'm going to do. I'm having back pain and I haven't been in the mood to read. Judy, we got to get you better, girl. It's the busy season. Let's zoom in on that. And look at how fun and simple that is. Not a lot of product. And look at the grapevine, or actually it's an angel vine that we sprayed earlier. It's already growing and expanding past the vine itself. So we're going to let that set up overnight. And I will be able to do another one. The next one I will do in the red and green ribbon because that was my favorite. But y'all chose the drift one. So I will make another one, not on camera, but super easy, quick to get out if you're doing shows or you want to give for gifts. Hostess gifts. Remember Hostess. And something like this makes a great hostess gift as well. Office parties, all of that kind of thing. Rachel, the videos are available for replay right now. So they post immediately after I get done with live. The only thing we haven't done is put them into a group all by themselves. But if you go back every day, starting Saturday at 10 a.m., you will see my videos where I've made all of the items up to day 5, including today. So they're there. We'll get them organized for you. How's that sound? And of course, if you missed the boots yesterday, they're over the top. Gary literally walked in the house yesterday and went, wow. We had him sitting on the counter getting some photographs. All right, you guys. Come back tomorrow, 10 a.m. for day 6 of our 7 days of holiday cheer. And see what I've got up my sleeve tomorrow. It's not a wreath, I will tell you that, but it is going to involve mesh. All right, you guys have a